what you guys are doing is affecting, it's not just the guy that signs up with you. It's like this is spreading out. You're affecting generational sort of thing going on here, at least in our house. That's exciting. You worry about, am I ever going to be comfortable in life? And it's like, 18 months ago, I'd still be asking myself the same question. But now it's like, I think I am. I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah,
I think we're good.
you couldn't say it better. I mean, there's no better feeling than helping the people around you. And I'm a firm believer in that you can't help anyone until you help yourself. And by you being part of these programs and gaining your success, you're able to help so many people around you. I mean, it's countless, and it can spread out in positive ways. All right. So today we are joined by Donald Williams. Donald, you're in our Market Power program, and really appreciate you coming on today to share your experience and how things are going with the Market Power program.
Oh, glad to be here. Really am. I think I've actually started that in March, and here we are early September. So yeah, it's been exciting.
Okay.
It's been an eye opener.
So my first question to you was kind of for the viewer, if you can give a little background about how originally you found OptionGenius, whether it's through a podcast or a book, or how did you find the company?
I'm in my 60s, and so I've been staring at CNBC for 40 years, and I just love that. I started watching Wall Street Week with Ruth Lukreiser in the 1960s. That's how far it goes back. But anyway, you learn a lot of things about stocks, but I never really did learn a good system or a good methodology. It's just really flying by the seat of my pants. You look around for systems that would work, and I knew they were out there, but a lot of times, and I did start looking on YouTube. I think that's really where I initially ran into OptionGenius. I tried a few of the folks that are on there, but it kind of got to the point where it seemed like these guys are really marketing sort of companies that are marketing stocks rather than from a grassroots up sort of, stock, students of the stock market that have a great system that they've created, and then they want to market that. And when I saw OptionGenius, it's just like, the professor on the little cartoon right there, it's just like, all right, he says he's a genius. I'll give him I'll do this podcast. So it was one podcast, and then it was 6 podcasts. And, there's this housewife on there that was learning how to do layups or credit spreads, and she was just had a couple of great trades that worked for her, and she was marching through with those and doing really well. So 6 months went by, and so I picked up the phone, I called OptionGenius and bought my first course out of there. So yeah, and that was probably a year and a half ago. I actually went into oil.
Okay, great. Yeah,
the blank check,
which is a great program in itself.
Yeah. So that was the beginning.
Great. So you are part of our original beta group, the original traders for the SPX program. Was there anything when this came out and we opened it up to people, was there anything specific where you said, hey, I want to be part of this program?
Well, being in the oil trade for that year, there's conferences, and, the CEO of the company is, leading the conference, and his enthusiasm is infectious. You can tell when he talks, his lectures. I mean, this he really understands what he's talking about. And there's a lot of different facets of the market that he's already, learned about and developed. And you really get the impression that this guy's the real McCoy. When he brought out the SPX trade, the power trade, it was like, I got to get on this. This is, I didn't have to come to OptionGenius. I didn't have to get into this program. When I got into oil, suddenly I was making, significant money after, some paper trades. I got it switched over to real trades, and I've never looked back. And so when that power trade came on, there was like, you had to do it. I mean, when you look at the background work that OptionGenius has done, I'm not sure if it's a year, it's more than a year, but 2 years of data with never a loss. How do you argue with that? And I'd made a fair amount of income in oil, so paying the fee was inconsequential. And when you can make that fee back inside 30 days in either program now, it was probably one of the best moves I've made in a really, really long time. I did get married. That was a good move, but
yeah. Great to hear. Great to kind of hear how the path that you got into the program. Some people don't go through other programs that we have, like oil or the passive trading formula or anything like that. They just jump right into this. So it's always interesting to hear how, what your path was as a trader to get into this program. So my next question, did you have any kind of personal expectations of the program before you joined? Anything specifically?
Right. No, I just wanted to get to first base. I just wanted to get up there, place a trade, paper or otherwise, and get some validation, which came along pretty shortly. And but I didn't have visions of grandeur or anything like that. I mean, it's like you do, it would be great. Everybody I think calculates, wow, if I do this, if I have this much money, where will I be in a year? I guess everybody does that, but and that's all nice and fun. But I'm kind of a realist and I'm practical, and I really didn't get over my skis on this one. I don't think. I just, my biggest thing was following the rules, and because when you're doing options, you hear all these stories that great, you're making money, but you don't realize how close to the edge you are, and you can lose that. I mean, that market will do whatever it wants to do, and and you need to be able to not have box yourself into a corner. You still have to manage this day in and day out. So I had a good dose of fear and respect for the market. So far, I've had a close call or two, and it's just by the grace of God that it happened when I wasn't, you're never really, your education is continuous, and you never have, when you're year 1 or 2, you really don't have that much experience. And so, but I've been fortunate, and the program's been good for me. And, I could not be happier with where I am today.
Great. Well said. I mean, we really try to hit singles more than anything. I know we talk about that all the time. Try not to go for the home run. I love what you said about not getting over your skis. And, the learning is a continuous thing. It never ends, right? So I think that's tremendous that you're having the success that you're having. And it's, a testament to you staying, to the rules and doing what you need to do. So I have a question. Is there any kind of specific feature of the program that you really love that stands out to you about the Market Power program? If there's anything that you can identify as something that you like, that you really like about the program?
I look at a 12-month chart and I see the frequency that the power trade comes up. I see the frequency that you can get a power trade 2 days in a row. I pay attention to a single day's market action, and I think it helps me. People say that you learn the nuances and the trading action of companies that you frequent, companies that you buy and sell, or you buy and hold, or options that you deal with on a frequent basis. They have personalities, and you can learn. Really, it can eventually help you in your trade management. I think that is something that's growing in me, the ability to not be a technician or anything like that, but it helps me understand the SPX and market action a little better. But yeah, that would be about it. For you do get an element of near immediate gratification. It is an overnight trade. It's not a 30-day trade, and so it's an overnight trade, and usually you can get out relatively early in the morning, so you don't get in until the end of the day. So if you're employed, you don't really need to look at the stock market until 30 minutes before closing, and that's actually what I have on my iPhone. Is my iPhone goes off every day at 2:30, so I've got 30 minutes, and even when that happens, I still get distracted, and I've left a lot of money on the table because you really don't want to do your trade till the end of the day, and it just gets away from me. And so, I could have done a little better than I've done, and it's just because the opportunity's there, but I haven't been able to get to it for whatever reasons. And life goes on, and you can't. Some days you just can't be there. But I missed some nice opportunities with the power trade. But it is nice. You got your day free until 2:30. If you put the trade on, a lot of the times you're out the next morning by 10:30. If the market's still going your way, you may have to keep an eye on it through the day, but more often than not you're out in the morning. So it's a very short-term trade, and that's got a lot of appeal.
Yeah, I think you've hit on it. A lot of people, it's a 1-day trade, right? So it's very quick. You don't have to sit there like in a 30-day trade or longer and kind of test your delayed gratification feeling. So, it's nice to get that money quick, and it's exciting. And I think you really kind of hit on that. So how has the support been from OptionGenius? Not specifically the OptionGenius family, but, the people that you trade alongside every day, in the Facebook group or what else. Do you feel supported in this program?
I do. It's a relatively small group. I mean, y'all only let in, I think, less than 30 people in the first tranche or first opening. And a lot of those people carried over from other areas of OptionGenius. But the Facebook page is wonderful. You can write anything on there. People don't criticize you. They're always trying to be constructive and supportive, but there's no sharpshooter leaders or anybody, they're there to help. And some of them, are really, really smart. I mean, there's a guy from Microsoft, some other guys that they just seem to have been trading a really long time. So you got this analytical guy, these guys just with a lot of experience. So, I've tried to follow some of their trades and their actions and, entry and exit points through time. And so that's helped me. I don't type on there a lot, but when I need to or want to, it's certainly there. It's available to me. And it's a fun website. It's something you can check on every couple of days. You have to keep your finger on the pulse. And so that's a nice way to do it, whether you're doing the power trade or whether you're doing oil or any other credit spreads or that sort of thing. The website's great. And the people there they're just like you and me. And I don't think any of them have a marketing background.
Yeah, I mean, it's really special to see. It's like we turn into like a tight knit family. You talk about how you have a graduating class and you're the first graduating class, and we've been trading since April or so, and several months now, and it's like everyone, you have people from all different backgrounds and experiences, and it's really nice to see how we kind of all gel together, and everyone's here for the right reasons. So it's really special to see that. So that's great. Yeah. How has your trading changed, if any, since you started Market Power? Have you become more confident over time, or how's it changed for you?
I was nervous as a cat. I'm nervous anyway, generally speaking. I'm pretty jumpy, but I was, we're dealing with real money. I kind of obsessed over it a little bit. But I've calmed down quite a bit. The oil trade went against me the other day. It's like, okay, great. No big deal. It wasn't out of control. It was easy to exit. I wasn't panicking. Looked for, a way to get my debit back. And, it worked out well. So really haven't had to do an adjustment with the power trade yet. But, every day you get more experience. And I'm constantly running those adjustments through my head, trying to, get some muscle memory with that, cerebral muscle memory with that, but I feel like, probably where I should be. I can't be idle. So, I'm always, I come home and I'm looking at YouTube videos on options, and it's like my wife is like, there's, no helping this guy, so, but, it's a vocation. It's a new career. And it's like, I'll probably do it forever. I hear about these 92-year-old guys, that, whether they retired from the stock market or they're, doctors or whoever, they just love it. It's like keeps their mind sharp, and and you're basically printing money, most days.
Right.
It's amazing. When I never, I drive around town and I see these people working for $12 and $15 an hour, and I just made 1,000 in 10 minutes, and I'm just going, there's no way. It's like, but I'm 67. It's like I've always had 2 or 3 jobs, if not 4 simultaneously. It's not for lack of work.
Sure.
It's like I've worked for long and hard to get here, and if other people can get here and not work as hard as I did, that's good too, because I'm sure everybody's of good character.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, it's really amazing to go through that. Like you said, you get experience as a trader, and it just you may be nervous, but you're courageous and getting it. The knowledge to
Sure.
go forward. So that's great. It's like riding a bike. Once you know this kind of information, you can do it. So as long as your mind is sharp, you'll be able to do it the rest of your life. I mean, it's a fantastic thing.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, enjoy every minute of it.
Great. So how have your results been so far? You said it sounds like you're more consistent, and you're getting some good traction. So how has that been for you?
Good. I mean, I guess net, there's probably been 1 month where I wasn't profitable. I'm up 30% on the money that I put into the TD Ameritrade, up 30% since February. It's been a combination of oil in February and following on power trade, I guess, in April. But between the two, I'm up 30%, and that's on 200K. So I sold some rental houses. At 67, I had these 5 rental houses. So, I've put in so many toilets and replaced so many, hot water heaters. I finally, let that go. But I was petrified, but, I went this way, and now I cover the rent, which was about $4,000 a month. But I'm doubling that now, and I'm not, and I'm not carrying around a pair of pliers and
Wow,
a hammer. Yeah,
that's amazing to hear. I mean, that is fantastic. I mean, just to hear you explain, you do all that heavy labor, you get a very deep, profound respect for money when you've learned to make it the hard way, and then you can make it the easier way, like you're doing now. It's just tremendous. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to hold on to every dollar, and my wife is sitting there, in a tug of war with the checkbook, and it's like, and really, it's okay. It's like, our marriage is better, the kids are happier. I mean, it's been phenomenal. It's remarkable what this has done to our family. We got 3 daughters and we got 3 grandkids, and it's like, now I look forward to them coming, because it doesn't matter how many times we go out to dinner or go boat riding, or it doesn't matter. So, this is having, what you guys are doing is affecting. It's not just the guy that, signs up with you. It's like this is spreading out. You're affecting, generational sort of thing going on here, at least in our house. And, that's exciting. Yeah. And it's just like, to really, you worry about, am I ever going to be comfortable in life? And it's like, 18 months ago, I'd still be asking myself the same question. But now it's like, I think I am. I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think
you couldn't say it better. I mean, there's no better feeling than helping the people around you. And, you gain some, I'm a firm believer in that you can't help anyone until you help yourself. And by you being part of these programs and gaining your success, you're able to help so many people around you. I mean, it's countless, and it can spread out in positive ways. So that was very well said. Yeah, agree with that. So kind of a fun question for you. You mentioned that you can go to dinners and things. What do you plan to do with your profits? Some people kind of roll it back into their account. Some people go out and do some fun things. Any plans with the profits that you're making?
Well, I still want to shore things up. So I'd like to go another year, another 12 months. I retire in 4 months, December 31st. So I'm going from Blue Cross to Medicare. That's a hard one to swallow. But so I retire actually, in January 1st. We're from Gainesville, Florida. My brother has a lake house and a beach house at St. Augustine in Crescent Beach. And so, we'll be bopping down that way, and wakeboarding, and I'll try to surf, but, I can't surf that way, not that good. But anyway, all the kids, they love it. My brother went to, he got a degree in recreational sports. So you knew where he was heading, and he's done phenomenally well. So all he does, we go to Camp Steve, his lake house. So we'll be traveling down through Florida and Port St. Joe, maybe go scalloping,
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. Excellent. So what would you say to someone, you're the original group and you have the experience now and the confidence in the program, and, there's a new group coming on and probably a new group after that. And after that, who knows how many, lives will affect in a positive way. What would you say to someone who's kind of on the fence, like you were? I mean, anybody was, anytime you try to get into a program, you're kind of, you're thinking about the pros and cons. What would you say to someone who's kind of like, I don't know whether I want to be a part of this program?
I would think that most people would hear of OptionGenius, and y'all have a suite of at least 12 different programs in there, all of which are great trading techniques. And, there's something in there to suit every personality. And I started with oil, but now I'm doing 4 trades, all out of OptionGenius. Whatever route you take to get to the power trade, I think if you just and even if you don't go through OptionGenius, even if your experience with other comes up in another way, that's fine. I would be optimistic about power trade, because really, I don't think it's never had a loss, which is really incredible. And it comes up about once a week. It's a short-term trade. It's something that you can, it's not complex. This is a simple trade that you can do in a short period of time. You'll do fine with it. To me, it's been wonderful. But what I see from standing where I am right now is, I know that Alan has other trades that he's doing research on that'll probably be coming down the pike in the future, and that the power trade is not the end of the road. This is just going to be, a really, powerful way for you to accumulate wealth. But I think the best days are still ahead for the people who join this group. Again, it's not a marketing thing. I mean, these are like, the people at OptionGenius, they're regular hound dogs like the rest of us. They're just really good at what they've spent their time doing for the last 20 years is paying off. And, I think Alan's comment was, I want to, offer this to 10,000 people. And if I can do that kind of good, and, some people float in and they're there for 2 or 3 months and they float away, but, he still touched them. And there's other that, he's been doing it a long time. And it's just something that, you'll get a lot out of this. it's being offered to you. But I think you'll find that after it's a little scary to sign up, 5,000, whatever it is, whatever that is, it's a lot of money, but it'll be one of the best moves you've ever made. It's a lot better than going out and trying to buy a new car right now.
That's true. Well, Donald, a pleasure having you on today, and thank you for taking the time to tell everyone your experience. And we really appreciate here at OptionGenius. And it's always a pleasure to see you on the calls, and wish you all the success going forward.
Thank you, man. It's good to talk to you. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Betcha.